Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel and happy Victoria Day. We're having a bank holiday Monday here in celebration of Queen Victoria's birthday, and it's also the kickoff to the summer season here in Canada. But let's get to the topic at hand. The Queen has said, people have to see me to believe me. And that's so true because, even if you live in England, I bet there's a lot of people that have never seen her in person. And lately, over the last couple of years with the bug and everything, we've seen a lot of her on Zoom. We've seen her out and about in the last 6 months or so, a little bit less. She's skipped some occasions, some she pops up rather surprisingly in some of the photographs and video. She looks rather frail, and others, like the recent Windsor Horse Show, she looked vibrant and animated and happy. Um, and now they put this down to her frailty issues, her age, her mobility issues. She can't get out and about that often, but she couldn't make it to the opening of Parliament and the Queen's speech, but she can make it to the Windsor Horse Show just a couple of weeks later. And so people are talking. Online people are talking. Something's odd. Even the pictures we see of the Queen, there's something just not quite right. Nobody can put their fingers on it. And I've noticed this too for a long time. In fact, I have a previous video called Deep Fakes in the Palace, which is a good one to watch, and we're going to refer to it here. Um, there's been a lot of speculation about what's really going on. And I think perhaps because of her frailties and health issues and these kinds of things, it's not impossible to make the jump to think that they've been using a little bit of trickery to keep our queen in view. Um, I won't go into describing deep fakes and how they would have been used on all the Zoom and video calls. Refer to the previous video, Deep Fakes in the Palace. But that's one way that they could get away with the Queen not having to present herself directly to do these video calls. In person, that's a different matter. You can't use a deep fake, but you can use a body double. And we've heard for decades different leaders around the world have used body doubles in certain situations. Now, out of the public engagements that the Queen does, she's usually meeting people for the first time, dignitaries or, charity leaders, this kind of thing. They may have never met her before, only seen pictures or video. And we all know meeting somebody in person is different than seeing a photograph. And when it's somebody like the Queen that you've already got a reference for, even if those little hairs stand up on the back of your neck, you're not gonna react to that because you're sort of, I imagine you would be in awe of meeting someone like that. So those kind of things go unquestioned, and that's a place where they could get away with using a body double. Um, Makeup and prosthetics and, facial prosthetics, these kinds of things. We've seen the work that they do in the movie industry. So it's not impossible that something like that could be done to pull it off if the Queen herself could not attend. Um, I would not be surprised. But I think that's how they're getting away with it. I don't think we've seen the Queen as often as we think we have, if indeed we've seen her at all. I've had a funny feeling since the Remembrance Day service that the Queen could not attend. I don't think we've seen the Queen since then, to be honest with you. Go back and look at the video of that. It'll all be online. All the news, BBC, everybody covered it. And just take a look at Camilla, Catherine, and Sophie on that balcony. They didn't look like they were just attending a solemn ceremony. They all looked like they were ready to burst into tears, like something awful had transpired. The looks on their faces don't match with the circumstance of the event. And I had suspicions from that day that something had happened. Since then, we've seen the Queen on occasion. We've seen her on Zoom calls. Lately, we've seen her out and about a little bit. The opening of the Queen Elizabeth line, the Windsor Horse Show. But surprisingly, she couldn't make the opening of Parliament, the Queen's speech, where she's sitting. I'm sure they could have got her in there. If she could, 2 weeks later, she can be at a horse show. Why the heck did she miss that? Well, now, yeah, mobility issues certainly could have played a part. The different pictures we've seen from her, 1 week she looks frail and terrible, the next week, like at the Windsor Horse Show, she looked like a completely different person. Her face was bigger and fuller, and now if the Queen has pain, muscle, bone, kind of mobility issues, she could be getting treatment with steroids, which is common for a lot of those kind of things. Now, steroids can make you puff up, so you'll look like you have a fuller face and this kind of thing. It will do that. So, to a degree, it could change your appearance, and this could be why sometimes we see her looking one way. A few weeks later, we see her looking a little bit different. There's a possibility there of that. But some of the photographs just, they absolutely don't match up. Put them side by side and it's odd. It is. So I really think that they've been using deep fakes and body doubles, and I don't think we've actually seen the Queen since the Remembrance service. Now, if they're using body doubles and all of this, they can get her out to a horse show. They can get her out to a public event, the opening of the Queen Elizabeth transit line, things like that. Wouldn't work in Parliament for a couple of reasons. The main one is a legal issue. If, in fact, they are using body doubles to represent the Queen, that person can be used to open a curtain at an event, show off a plaque. But in the case of the Queen's speech and opening Parliament, that is, you can't have an imposter there. That is why Charles had to stand in. It has to be somebody authorized by the monarchy to stand in, typically the heir or one of the counselors of state. So it's either these on and off mobility issues. One day she looks frail and weak. The next day she looks like she's put on 20 pounds, if you look close enough. And they couldn't pull that off. They couldn't pull that off in Parliament. Why it's happening? It could be her frailty, her mobility issues, and also the big thing is the Platinum Jubilee coming up. They've got 4 days of celebration. In fact, the celebrations have already begun. The Queen attended a concert there. Again, another odd looking picture when you match it up with ones from, the last week or so. So there you go. But they've got this big celebration coming up. They don't want to scupper that by saying, oh, well, the Queen's in ill health or worse. I think something's going on behind the scenes that they have to use the body doubles and the deep fakes and play along for a period of time till whatever's sorted out gets sorted out. But I don't think all is what it seems. Seeing isn't believing, and only time will tell. And we may never know. But I don't know how long, if in fact this is a charade being played on us. I don't know how long they can keep it up. So I would expect sometime in the next few months for Charles to, if not take over the crown, have it be publicly stated that he's become regent. Because I don't think they can play this much longer. Anyway, just my thoughts and opinions. Is seeing believing? Have we seen the Queen? Will we see the Queen? Where's the Queen? Have a great day, everybody.